Hello and welcome back to an episode of Slay the Spire. We are going to play on Ascension 20, as always. Last time, I haven't played in a few days, so I hope I'm not too rusty. Slay the Spire is like a remarkably difficult skill to maintain. Taking time off can really set you back. Of course, I don't think you need to play every day to like be competitive. I've just played a lot of other games this week. The Steam Summer Sale happened, and so I've immersed myself in some other games that I have not recorded. So my uploads have been a little bit less frequent, but I'm making sure I'm getting one in today. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the Silent Ascension 20. We almost had 3 in a row, and then right here we lost to Hexaghost on like a silly misplay. And then we just, to see how it would go, played the rest of the run. My heart wasn't really in it. You can go back and watch the video. It's just my previous recording. Even though I didn't necessarily feel like my heart was in it, we just kind of breezed through. Like the rest of the seed was actually very easy. We took 4 damage from the Corrupted Heart. You see we ended with 34 health. So it was like an easy win, but then we just abandoned run to make sure we didn't incorrectly increase our streak when we had actually been dead to Hexaghost. So let's try and restart the streak, but also we can keep in mind that if we had just not played poorly against Hexaghost, we know that winning this would mean a capability of 4 in a row just off of those previous runs. Okay, Fire Elite after the chest is quite nice. Fire Elite Fire before the chest is quite nice. We've got an early shop, so we can get 250 gold. Face a total of 2 elites, but get many fires and buy whatever we want in this shop. So I like that a lot. Choosing a card and Niao's Lament are not very impressive bonuses, so I don't feel bad about making this decision very quickly. 15 damage is a pretty big setback. I mean, a lot of times that represents just like 1 total fewer elite. But in our case, if we're only doing 2 elites, maybe that's okay. Took 2 damage from this fight so far. Should be able to get out without taking any more. Yeah. Floor 1 is not bad at all. Swift Potion floor 1 is not bad at all. Dagger Throw is very good. Very good. Because our act boss is Slime Boss, we don't have as much wiggle room, so to speak, for the cards and strategies we pick up in Act 1. We really have to be aggressive, like high attack density build to beat Slime Boss, more so than the other 2 for sure. Okay, how good is our deck? Because there's a 1 in 3 chance that we bottom deck a strike here, and there's like a 50% chance that he's attacking, that means like 16% of the time we are set back a significant amount that we're going to take way more than 1 damage. So I'm going to take the guaranteed 1 damage to make sure we don't take any more. We didn't hit the 1 in 3 to bottom deck a strike there while he's buffing. He did buff though, which is, like I said, maybe like a 50-50. I'm not actually sure about that. Okay, this is curious. We can triple defend here. He's at 15, which means, yeah, 2 strikes and a neutralize. Well, he's going to be blocked, but there's a lot of ways to kill here. Oh, there was one way to kill here. All of the strikes and the neutralize. However, there were a lot of ways to block here. As you can see, we are able to full block. Once again, we can choose to take 1 damage, but now that he's at 11, I don't think we need to. Blocks for 5 here, so 2 strikes would not do it, but 3 strikes would. So we're gonna have 10 cards, and we're gonna be drawing 2 of our 10 cards, as long as one of them is an attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So we're like way more than 75% to not need to take any damage here if we full block. The reason it's way more is because I also didn't consider the fact that, well, 1, he might not be attacking, and then 2, getting a survivor and no attacks would probably be good enough also. Backflip's a good card. Don't sleep on Backflip. Doesn't do much in early Act 1 when you're a 1 energy deck. It doesn't do a ton against Slime Boss when you're trying to deal basically 90 damage in the first 3 turns. When I say it like that, Slime Boss is such a hard fight, right? It's like 90 damage in the first 3 turns. I guess that's what you're trying to do against Gremlin Knob too. So. Anyway, the difference is the fight isn't over. Like if you manage to do 90 damage in the first 3 turns against Slime Boss, you now have 2 60 health slimes to deal with, which is actually like not even a good split. You kind of need to deal 100 damage in the first 3 turns, and then still have a deck capable of beating 2 large slimes. Which 2 large slimes is a really hard fight on its own. Yeah. Anyway. I think I will take the Backflip. Good card. Some interesting things here. Man, Gambling Chip is a really, really good relic. It's expensive as heck, but it's one of the best rare relics you can pick up. It would be basically all we do here. Jeez, with on silent with 7 cards in your starting hand, that's massive. Everything else here we can, like violence is the other consideration. Violence and Gambling Chip are similar. This one is 123 gold cheaper. But for the extra 123 gold, what we get is basically we don't have to draw the violence, and probably Gambling Chip does more than violence. I think we take this Gambling Chip. And we have 65 gold. We could buy a slice. Which is not bad. Could buy an acrobatics. I don't think we want to buy an acrobatics. Absolutely not. I think we do buy a slice, right? We've got 2 more question marks coming up, which is kind of scary. Well, no, we can fight this fight instead. By the way, we could do 4 elites. I didn't even look at this path. Fire Elite just seems really attractive. I'm like, oh, that's got to be the best. I looked at. I always start with the post chest options, and when you look at the post chest options, this is the best. 2 elites is like okay, but kind of scary. This is like they're very front loaded, even in this. I mean, they're in the second half of the act, but they're right after the chest here, which means you don't get. And there are no fires here, right? It's just really scary to think you'll pull that off as silent. We're definitely not powerful enough for that. But we should probably have considered it a little bit more before we're just like, oh, Fire Elite, that's good. How do we get there? Fire Elite Fire, oh, that's good. It's just kind of rare that you get such a tremendously good option like this. Like this would be, I think, like 90th percentile of act layouts. Fire Elite, Fire Elite. Definitely like 90th percentile there. It's really rare that you not only hit that, but you also hit something that's better than that you need to be on the lookout for. Which means if you see that 90th percentile route, like you're usually safe to just take it. But there's always the chance that there's something better. I don't think in this case there was. But we'll see. We'll go to this question mark. We'll go to this fight. So 1 more fight before this elite. If we are going on the default path. I do think I want the slice. We picked up a backflip. Yeah, the slice makes a lot of sense for that reason. We just need to be really aggressive with the cards that we add to our deck for Slime Boss. Okay. There are a couple of ways to think about this. I think the best way to think about it is that right now we are at 0 gold. Imagine this as the default option. We can change to this option and go up to a total of 86 gold. But we have to spend 11 of our hit points. Would I spend 11 hit points to get 86 gold right now? No, right? Slime Boss is hard. We've got a hard pool. Is it a hard pool? No, it's still an easy pool. Oh, maybe that changes my mind. We've got an easy pool, an elite, a hard pool, an elite, a hard pool. 2 elites, 2 hard pools, and an easy pool fight on 30 life? No, we're not going to go down to 30 life. Just lose the 11 gold. We do want to do the fight. Question marks suck, as evidenced by what just happened there. Okay. We'll be very conservative here, try and take none. Really unlucky draw order there. Dagger throw being on the bottom and then following it up with all those defends on the turn that that enemy was buffing. Okay, accuracy does nothing, setup does nothing. Riddle with holes is a really, really weak card. We can safely skip here. I say safely, I mean it's very bad to not get any stronger. High rolled on our gold though, we're back up to 19. I think you can hit between 11 and 20 gold. No, between 10 and 20 gold every fight. But no, I mean this doesn't make us stronger. We have to skip. But we will be greedy and upgrade the dagger throw probably. It's 3 damage, this is 3 damage. We'll upgrade the slice? Oh, that feels so weird. It's a pretty bleh of a card. It's the same amount of... It's like the same amount of damage improvement as dagger throw, but this one costs 0, which means it's more likely to get played, because if there's a turn where we need to triple defend, like we still have energy to play a slice, whereas we wouldn't have energy to play a dagger throw. Is there any world where we play dagger throw instead of slice? No, I don't think so. It's so strange, but I do think it's a slice upgrade. Okay, we're gonna upgrade these cards. And maybe just wake up now? No, we're gonna backflip. Okay, these will skip a shuffle, and we'll wake up on some future turn. We didn't get the Ascender's Bane out of the deck. But that's okay. This is probably a good enough wake up. We don't want to miss the neutralize on the turn that it's attacking. I think we do need to take 4 to deal 9. Oh gosh, next turn sucks. These all skip a shuffle. Actually, we might have hosed ourselves here. The strikes are upgraded here. We'll take another 7. Oh my gosh, look at this draw order. It's really, really bad. Have all of these skip a shuffle. If we use the draw potion now, that's probably fine. Dang it, don't like to see that strike get missed. Oh, this is weird. If we bring it down to 17, 3, we have -2 strength. So this would be 10, and 7 would do it. Yeah, or 10 and 7, or 3 7s. I think we should deal the damage here to try and look for lethal outs next turn. Yeah, woof, close one we got there though. Strike dummy, bleh. Heel hook, riddle with holes, bleh, bleh. These are not very good. Sneaky, I'd take a sneaky strike because it gets improved with strike dummy. This stuff kind of sucks. Strike dummy is not very good. I'm just trying to think of like how likely it is we can get heel hook to land. The gambling chip helps, but it kind of like makes us feel like we should upgrade neutralize, which if I really want to. I think we're gonna take the heel hook. I think I am really worried about having enough damage. So the neutralize I think is the best upgrade now. 2 weak is already very good, but and like the 1 damage is okay. Okay, we can upgrade again actually. 3 extra damage on the heel hook is nice if you consider that it's actually just a free card. But we'll upgrade the dagger throw. There will be a lot of turns I can imagine where we want to play the dagger throw instead of the heel hook, because heel hook isn't active for one reason or another. Oh, strikes aren't half bad because of strike dummy. I guess we just end there. No, I guess we need to block more. I could have killed this, but we would become vulnerable. Strange. Quick slash. Okay, I kind of pooped on strike. I mean, it's actually a decent relic in Act 1. Having 9 damage strikes is actually going to matter a lot. I really should not have been so down on strike. I mean, no potions is kind of scary for this upcoming elite. 21, and we know it's not Lagavulin. Gremlin Knob should be pretty easy, right? If we just spend 27 energy, not 27, 9 energy on attacks, and every attack does 9 damage. 9 times 9 is 81. It's a little bit better than that though, because we have dagger throw and slice that are like an extra 3 damage here, an extra 9 damage here, an extra 4 damage here. So Gremlin Knob feels kind of free. It's actually Sentries that's terrifying for this deck right now. But if we can assassinate one pretty quickly. The oddly smooth stone helps. The gambling chip helps. Need this. If only this said quick strike, then I would feel a lot better about it. 11 damage. Has a 4 damage upgrade. We're running out of card picks for Slime Boss is the other thing. Eight damage for an energy is just not that good. And then like the fact that it draws one card is yeah, this is like worse than a strike. We gotta skip. It draws a card but strikes don't, but like we're also adding it to the deck, which like strikes are already in the deck. Gotta skip. Okay. But I think we're gonna be greedy and upgrade here. What we're gonna upgrade? Heel hook. Backflip. Survivor? Maybe we should just rest since we're so unsure. Yeah. I like the idea of resting before a slime boss. We have 2 fires at which we can do that. I would rather rest at the later fire, so that way we at least have an upgrade for this leap. I would rather upgrade something better, which we might find in these next 2 fights. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna rest, so we can upgrade whatever we earn from this fight. Yeah, heel hook's pretty bad in this fight, unfortunately. That's another reason we didn't want to upgrade it. It's not going to get played here, probably, it looks like. Okay. This is dead to a strike next turn. And then we block for 9. So we took 4 damage, and now 1 damage. We've taken 5 damage. It's not so bad. Also, with an early shuffle, the dazed haven't like piled up as badly as they sometimes do. Okay, the backflip was a nice draw there. Take another 4. It was a little bit of bad order, I think. I don't know. It would have been better to draw a defend card on that particular turn. But anyway, it looks like we get out with only taking 9 damage. Not bad. Vajra is great. Makes me feel a lot better about this stupid heel hook. And it also makes me feel a lot better about Slime Boss. And I was hoping we'd see a rare, because I don't know if we've seen a rare all act yet. So we're pretty much due for a rare, and this is a good one, especially with heel hook. It's weird with heel hook, because if you play the malaise, you actually can't play the heel hook after. It sucks, but it's still the pick. Malaise is a very good card. It's not very good against Slime Boss, but it's going to help a lot in Act 2. Good, good. We're gonna upgrade the malaise. It's a good upgrade. It's just we're really making ourselves susceptible to Slime Boss in that case, because it's not. Malaise is a really bad upgrade against Slime Boss. Outmaneuver is like a synergy with malaise, but I'm not feeling it. Caltrops is not a synergy with anything we're doing. It doesn't work with Vajra. I guess it kind of works with melees, right? It's so bad against Slime Boss. Oh gosh. Are we gonna try and block Slime Boss? Since we can weaken him usually for his turn 3 attack. No potion in either of these fights? Jeez, what's our potion chance? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. 70 minus 30, so 70% potion chance, I think. Do we need to rest again to make sure we can beat Slime Boss? Like that. But none of these upgrades help against Slime Boss. The melee's upgrade doesn't really help against Slime Boss. The heal hook's not going to land very much in Slime Boss because he's going to get split. Loose is weak. We're going to have a deck full of slimes. We're going to shuffle early. So like we're going to be running into these slimes like pre-split maybe? I'm very worried about this fight. Resting definitely helps. None of these help. Right? Yeah, I think we have to skip. And then the question is, do we upgrade heal hook? It is 3 extra damage, but if there is no weak, I think we upgrade heal hook. Gosh, it feels really bad. But honestly, the rest, the 19 extra health, I think in Slime Boss is like, if you're bad against Slime Boss, yeah, will just kill you. I feel like there's like this tipping point where it's like, you're bad against Slime Boss, and then there's like an exact threshold. You're like bad against Slime Boss, and like you're gonna take 50 damage to him. And you can like lower that marginally, and then there's like this one big tipping point. It's like if you get that tipping point, you jump from like taking 40 damage to taking less than 20. And how do you hit that tipping point? It's just by having more damage. That's it. Just more damage in the first 3 turns. Nothing else matters. And you can improve like marginally the damage you take by having better defense. You know, the second phase of the fight, it's still useful to have like an upgraded backflip, for example. But if you're trying to hit that tipping point where you suddenly just like jump from taking 40 damage over the course of the fight to taking 15 damage over the course of the fight, that's a damage difference. And it can even be like small amounts of damage, like heal hook dealing 3 more damage every time we play it. And that difference between taking 40 damage and taking 15 damage could be more than life we save by resting. But I'm not feeling good about this fight. This will be a short video. So like strikes aren't that bad, but dagger throw and slice are all better. So I think we do a full look here. Okay. Not good. We have all these defends that we just drew. Okay, interesting choice here. We choose between taking 15 damage. And then splitting him in the next couple of turns. Not a very good split, though. I'm gonna choose not to take 15 damage and split him at 70, which is a really bad split, also. Weaken you. Lock. Attack, attack. We're just going for a split on this one, I guess. Okay, this is 31 damage coming in. So we can just block, block, block. Go down to... we'd go up to 36 total, so we'd go down to 5 life and then we're dead. Because he's like, I don't know, 70% to attack us next turn, and if we're at 5 life, we're just dead. We can't split him, and we won't have dealt any damage here, but splitting this at 35 is also a death sentence. Okay, he's not attacking. I think that's what we needed. It doesn't matter though. He has to attack next turn, and we're gonna be frail and at 5 life. There's nothing we can do. We can kill these front 2 guys, but then the 18 damage kills us. It's actually kind of close. Man. If we had 6 more life here, the fight feels a little doable. Dead to Slime Boss. Slime Boss is a really hard Act 1 boss. I think, weirdly enough, we had to take Sucker Punch here. Sucker Punch would have been much better than Malaise, and we could have upgraded it. Well, Sucker Punch has a bad upgrade against Slime Boss, actually. So maybe we still could have upgraded Heel Hook. So take Sucker Punch here, upgrade Heel Hook here. Slime Boss goes much better. It goes a little better. We might still die to Slime Boss in that world, but the Malaise was so counterproductive. I don't think there are a lot of other turning points, because all of our card rewards that we skipped were just like not good card rewards. It's not even because we were being picky, right? It's just because with the Strike Dummy, there aren't a lot of ways to improve our deck. There are a lot of, I don't know, there are a lot of good damage comments that we weren't offered, right? With freaking Vajra, it's like Blade Dance, Dagger Spray, get a ton of extra value from Vajra. Would have helped immensely in that Slime Boss fight. Those are common cards. We didn't see them the whole act. The next big one is Sneaky Strike, because it says Strike on it. It's actually huge. It becomes a 0 energy for 15 damage sometimes. Sometimes it's 2 energy for 15 damage, but still, like, you're okay with that. We did skip 2 damage or 2 energy for 15 damage like 3 times. Riddle with Holes. Riddle with Holes. Riddle with Holes. Yeah, Riddle with Holes showed up 3 times. That's just unlucky. Seeing 3 Riddle with Holes is... it's hard to say we were unlucky. Vajra and Strike Dummy are some pretty premium common relics, though admittedly this one did almost nothing in Slime Boss. Saved us actually a little bit of health. It's a good relic, you can't be upset about this. This is a premium Act 1 relic. I complained when I saw it. It's actually very good in Act 1. Yeah, I totally spaced on the fact that it improves your base strikes, I guess. When I saw it, I was thinking about like, oh, in Ironclad you have all these strike cards that this does something with, and in Silent you have only Sneaky Strike. I think it's the only Silent card that says strike on it, except for all the starter strikes, and that's just what I was spacing. And like, the starter strikes is actually huge. Maybe if we'd taken less damage in Lagavulin, right? This was a rough fight for us. If we'd seen better potions, right? We only saw the 2 potions. Blessing. Maybe we didn't use potions right in the Lagavulin fight. Like maybe there was a way, like use draw potion on turn 1 and then use the upgrade potion. That's another line, right? If we had saved just 6 life here, somehow, that upgrade potion might have done it. If we just saved 6 life here, then we can actually maybe beat Slime Boss. It's still really tough. I think the other big one is, unfortunately, it might be correct to skip the Malaise here. It's so weird. We didn't see any rares the whole act. I was anticipating seeing a rare in this elite. I'm like, I'll probably just pick the rare. And it was Malaise, which is like generally such a good rare. I don't know. If we don't take the Malaise here, I think we die in Act 2. It feels really useful to take this Malaise knowing Act 2 is on its way. And then maybe rest here, right? Maybe if we rest here, we actually get through Slime Boss. I mentioned that the 19 health might not be as good as just getting 3 extra damage, just because that's how important damage is in Slime Boss, but... And then the other consideration is, are you supposed to gambling chip away all your strikes on turn 1? Or are you supposed to... It's like, you don't want to keep all your strikes, because if you just like throw away your defense on turn 1 in that Slime Boss fight, then you're gonna, like, you could draw like 5 strikes. You could draw like 6 energy worth of attacks on turn 1, and then they skip the shuffle anyway. Then you would have rather thrown some of the strikes away to get closer to the shuffle to start playing them again. So then the other line is like, if you have 3 strikes, 2 defends in your starting hand, maybe you just don't toss anything with the gambling chip. You just play all 3 strikes to make sure you just get to play every damage card in your deck on the first shuffle. I don't know. Or you try to, right? You can't guarantee it. But what happened to us was on turn 2 we didn't draw any attacks. Not one. So we had split at 70. Right? If we just drawn an additional attack, if we split at 60 instead, it's a little bit more doable. Then we could have split Acid Slime not at 35 but at 25 on that turn, not gone down to 5 life. Something like that, I don't know. Very strange. I don't think there was anything wrong with our pathing. This was the best path. I feel pretty confident about that. A lot of times it's hard to figure out where your mistake was because you can't see the map. And even if you can remember the map correctly, that's just one of the hardest things to really understand about Slay the Spire, is like the role that the map plays based on the challenges you need to fight on that path you take. But this was like a high power path with like low risk. There was very few ways to have a higher power path, and any of the ways to do it involved way more risk, as far as like, not even risk, just like way more damage taken over the course of the act. There was no better way, I think, to pad this act, which is useful, right? Because a lot of times in the post-analysis, let's just, you know, some random thing like this, it's like, okay, we died to Gremlin Knob. I actually remember this one pretty well. This was a pretty cool Act 1, where we took, I made a video about this one called Less Than 0.5% We Die Here, because the fact that we hit Exordium Wildlife into Exordium Thugs into Red Slaver, this was Red Slaver, not Blue Slaver, killed us. But that's an extremely unlikely outcome. But let's say that we hadn't done analysis on this and we're just coming to this blind and we don't really know what to think, other than to say it's like, oh look, we took 4 damage, 11 damage, 12 damage, 3 damage in these hallway fights and then died to a Gremlin Knob. Maybe we should have pathed differently, right? But you have no way what you were supposed to do to path differently because you don't remember what the map was like, or even if you do, it's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, what are we supposed to do besides taking a bunch of hallway fights? It's very, very unclear. It's very obfuscated. And so all of the other little decisions you can nitpick over, where it's like, you know, were we supposed to take poison stab over dagger spray? You know, were we supposed to skip quick slash? They become a lot harder to figure out because it's like, maybe we should have skipped that but then just gone a different way, because like this isn't a very good card, but since we are shown that this card reward doesn't have very good cards, maybe that teaches us something about the rest of the path that we should like deviate and take some question marks or something to like protect ourselves against the potential Exordium thugs. Something. And so it becomes really hard to know. It's like, it's hard to say if you're supposed to take quick slash, because not taking quick slash meant we died on this path. We're supposed to skip quick slash but then just like take a different path. There's so many branches when you consider the fact that like maybe there were better pathing options or just alternate pathing options based on these weird card rewards we saw. So something really nice about this run, and I know I've taken a long time to get to this point, but here's the point, and I think this is really important for us in our learning opportunity here, is this had one of the most clear pathing opportunities I've ever seen in Act 1. Where 2 elites and 4 bonus fires, you could either take fewer elites, which seems extremely bad, because 2 elites is already pretty few to get in Act 1, so you're going to have a very weak Act 1, as far as like how powerful you're getting, which means you're almost guaranteed to just peter out in Act 2 or 3. Probably Act 2, because Act 2 is really hard. Or, you know, we're down to 21 life by the time we get here, and we've only fought 1 elite. The only other reasonable path is to take more elites but fewer fires, and that would just kill us. We weren't offered options here that would allow that to be takeable. That's rarely takeable unless you get some crazy early rare. Like, you know, nothing in the shop told us that we could do that. We weren't offered like a phantasmal killer or a glass knife or even like an unload. We weren't offered even really impressive damage commons, right? We bought a slice here, but we would have much more happily bought a dagger spray or blade dance, what I consider like the best 2 potentially damage commons, though dagger throw is up there. Right? But we weren't offered any of that. We were just like, we saw a slice and a violence that seemed interesting. It's like, well, gambling chip's probably going to be more powerful than violence, and we tacked on the slice in addition. So there's no way we could fight a bunch of elites. So we had to do this path. So the point here, and I know I started making this point and I deviated away from it, but the point here is that because this was the correct path, we gain a lot more value in evaluating decisions like, maybe we really shouldn't have taken Malaise if we knew that we were dead to Slime Boss, which is something we could have known, right? It was kind of like open information what our chances against Slime Boss were. It's hard to know. That's the point about getting good at this game. Is like, we can now be better at discerning a situation like our deck is at this point needs to know with more confidence whether or not it's going to beat Slime Boss. It needs to know with more confidence that it's not going to beat Slime Boss. So that way you can more seriously consider skipping the Malaise. I don't know if skipping the Malaise is the right call, because like I said, I feel like a Sucker Punch here is going to just leave us dead in Act 2. But maybe not. You know, maybe we get Malaise from the boss fight. Though I would much rather leave it open for us to take one of the premium rares, like probably Glass Knife would be considered premium in this circumstance, as would Phantasmal Killer. Okay, the Bane and Caltrops aren't pickable. So one thing I'm thinking is like maybe you skip the Malaise. I think something I like a little bit better is recognizing that that resting can actually get us out of this, maybe more so than I gave it credit for, although the smaller amounts of damage on the heel hook might have just put us in the same boat. Like I said, we took 36 damage to Slime Boss, and it felt like we were a little close. Without the 3 damage on heel hook, I feel like we easily still take 51 damage to Slime Boss. With the way it played out. So the other really big red flag here, and this one probably makes the most sense, this probably rings the most true for you as an audience if you've watched more than one of my Slay the Spire videos, is that there's actually an interesting way to play this fight better. And I'm really bad at playing my fights, especially my boss fights. And I think the way to play this fight better is to not gambling chip away your opening hand. And just recognize, look, I can do a little bit more slow and steady. Just draw. I have 18 cards in my deck. I'm going to draw 17 of them in the first 3 turns of the fight. Just play 3 energy worth of attacks in the first 3 turns of the fight. We can get him. We really can. And let's verify that that's true. We've got 5 strikes that deal 10 damage each. That's 50 damage. This is another 10, so that's 60, 65, 78. Hmm. 87. I'm saying it out loud. An 87 only splits at 63. Still, it's a better split than we had. We split at 70. Right? If we split at 63, maybe we win. We go into the next shuffle with 5 slimes in our deck, but we still have a Malaise in our deck, which actually might be useful in the second half of the fight. I could see Malaise actually being really nice in phase 2, where we draw a handful of slimes, we draw Malaise, so at least we can, like, you know, make some progress on blocking. And they're at 63, not 70. 7 extra damage split. Could matter. I guess you're just like less susceptible to bad draw order there, because like for us, right, the draw order just felt really bad. We're on turn 2, we drew no attacks, and then on the split turn, we just drew like the 1 attack. Super weird. So I think that's the learning moment, is with Gambling Chip, there are some fights you need to be careful. I guess it's Slime Boss specifically, just because of the way his slimes work, right? Because if it's any other fight, you really don't lose out on anything by just tossing all your starter cards and trying to get to like dagger throw multiple times before turn 3, for example. But for Slime Boss, once you shuffle it, like you're so much less likely to get any of your attack cards. That's actually it's a lot more risky. It feels like a little bit of a silly thing to learn, that it's like, alright, now we know that if you have exactly Gambling Chip against Slime Boss, da-da-da-da-da-da, because Gambling Chip's are rare, but I think it's opened our vision to some of the things to consider about Gambling Chip in general, and again, and about Slime Boss in general. And about resting in general, right? It's like 30, if you know you're bad against Slime Boss, it's like 3 damage might matter, but if we rest here and survive at 1, I'm way happier. It's like Heel Hook's not a good upgrade for Act 2. I was just thinking like, oh, maybe 3 damage on Heel Hook saves us more than 19 health. And since it didn't, you know, that's an hypothesis I think we need to investigate. So we can like remember this moment next time we're in a similar situation against Slime Boss. We can be like, alright, well last time we thought the 3 damage might make a difference, let's go for Let's go for the 19 health, making a difference instead, since we know we're likely to die to Slime Boss here. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that you had to watch us die in Act 1. Act 1, I think, is the most fun part of the game. I really like Act 1, the Spire. The other, I think the second most fun part, maybe this is actually the most fun part, is actually win streaking, which you need to make it through Act 4 to do. So, I don't relish dying in Act 1, but I will say it's like my second favorite or favorite part of the game is really figuring out how to optimize these 16 floors better. And this was a razor's edge, right? It wasn't a blowout. We weren't just like foolish. They're just like little nitpicky things to pick out to turn this 2-win streak into 10-win streak once more. Alright, but again, thank you for joining us. I appreciate the support, and I will see you later.